Psalm 17 is a prayer of David, fervently seeking God's protection and justice in the face of opposition and persecution. David begins by appealing to God for a fair hearing, asking him to listen to his plea for righteousness. He affirms his integrity and innocence before God, asking him to vindicate him against the accusations of his enemies. Despite the threats and schemes of the wicked, David expresses his confidence in God's righteousness and his trust that God will answer his prayer. The psalmist vividly describes the actions of his adversaries, who seek to overpower him and bring him to ruin. He acknowledges their hostility and aggression, recognizing their desire to cause him harm. Despite the danger he faces, David expresses his trust in God's protection and his belief that God will rescue him from the clutches of his enemies. He calls upon God to deliver him from the wicked and to protect him as the apple of his eye. In the midst of his distress, David finds solace in the assurance of God's steadfast love and faithfulness. He acknowledges God as his refuge and stronghold, expressing his confidence that God will answer his prayers and grant him victory over his enemies. David expresses his desire to see God's face and to experience his righteousness, affirming his trust in God's sovereignty and his belief that God will lead him on the path of life. The psalm concludes with a declaration of praise and thanksgiving to God. David expresses his confidence that God will fulfill his promises and grant him victory over his enemies. He resolves to continue seeking God's face and to trust in his unfailing love and protection. Psalm 17 serves as a powerful testimony to the faithfulness of God and the assurance of his deliverance for those who trust in him. Let's now read Psalms chapter 17. A prayer of David. Hear the right, O Lord, attend unto my cry, give ear unto my prayer, that goeth not out of feigned lips. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence, let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast proved mine heart, thou hast visited me in the night, thou hast tried me, and shalt find nothing, I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Concerning the works of men, by the word of thy lips I have kept me from the paths of the destroyer. Hold up my goings in thy paths, that my footsteps slip not. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O God, incline thine ear unto me, and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by thy right hand them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies, who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps, they have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness, I shall be satisfied, when I awake, with thy likeness. This ends our reading of Psalms chapter 17.